Before we do anything, I want to remind you of this. This is always knowledge. If what's it called, an acute angle is an angle that less than 90 degrees. Well, right angle is the angle had 90 degrees, right? Right angle. And obtuse is an angle that larger than 90 degrees. Obtuse. Just get the terminology out of the way. Refer to the angle here. I have a right triangle. I have an angle. It's not necessarily right triangle, okay? I know it looks like it, but it's not necessarily a right triangle. It's just a regular angle. I don't know what angle ACB is, but I can calculate the area of the angle as the formula you already know. It's in middle school, right, or even elementary school. Area equal 1/2 base times height. Base. Now, how do I denote base? Now, here it's easy to know which one is base, which one is height. But say if have something like this, it's hard to know which one is base, which one is height. Base and height always intersect each other at 90 degrees. Okay, that's all you have to know. So any angle you can identify base and height. So in this case, base is C, height is H. What I'm going to do, because it's a trig class, I'm going to transform the height into some trigonometric function. So as you can see, size of B is what? If I take angle B and take side of B is equal opposite divided by hypotenuse, right? If you look at this angle right there in blue, size of B is equal to H divided by A. Opposite divided by hypotenuse. Then if I want to solve for H equal what? A times side B. Right? So I'm going to replace H with side B, A times side B. Or I rearrange things around, A times C, the same thing as C times A, so 1/2 AC side B. Right. So now I have a new formula. Area equal 1/2 AC side B. Now, if you look at so that's a very ordinary, right? Ordinary triangle, right? What if I look at something like this? Something where B is no longer acute, is obtuse. Right? It's obtuse meaning bigger than 90 degrees. Again, area is 1/2 base times height. Like I said, for those exotic triangle like that, all you have to know that height and base, the intersect is 90 degrees, right? So here I don't see anything 90 degrees. Either you can draw like this, which is, it's not going to do anything good with our formula here. What I'm going to do is from C, I'm projecting a downward line that intersects AB at here. Right? We can call it B prime if we want. We don't have to. Right? So there's your height H, and your base is C, or C plus a little extra bit, right? So area equal 1/2 base times height, which is equal C times H, right? But H, we're gonna replace with something else, right? H, I want to calculate H. How do I calculate H? Well, in order to calculate H, I'm going to use this angle right here. So the angle is 180 degrees minus the original one, which is the obtuse B, right? So H equal, let's say side B, side of 180 minus B is equal to, again, opposite divided by hypotenuse. Opposite is H. What is the hypotenuse? Talk about this. Hypotenuse. A, right? A. Again, I'm taking angle 180 minus B, that angle right there. So so the right triangle that I'm looking at is the one I highlight in blue, right? So here you can solve for H. H equal A times size of 180 minus B. Now, if you look at the unit circle, do you agree with me that in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2, you have the same Y value, right? Size of, say side of, let's say side of 60 degree, like that, 60 degree. Do you agree that it's so also equal to size of 180 degree? 120 degrees? Yes, right? They equal the same height, which is somewhere in there, that little red dot. Side of 60 degree, which is a tiny little blue angle here, it's the same thing as side of 120, right? Equal to the same height, which is equal to 1/2 √3/2, right? So basically, side of 180 minus B is the same thing as side is B, because side is the odd function, is symmetric about the y-axis. So this is the same thing. So this one right here, it is equal to side of B, no less. Therefore, we still have this formula, even though your triangle is not a cube, right? It's obtuse, but it's the same logic. Plus the odd properties. So the area triangle, instead of taking 1/2 base times height, in this class, we're gonna use this formula. And this is not the only one, right? I can come up with another two. You guys can get it, can guess it. It's be what? I can come up with either A equal 1/2. If it BC, then size of what angle? Side A, right? You guys see the pattern? If you have little a, little c, then the side is gonna be a big B, right? If I have little b, little c, then it's gonna be side A. You can have letter A, B, C there, right? Just different, either capital or lower. Can someone tell me what is the last one? You don't have to write these two down. Can someone tell me the last one? I can come up with another one, which is A equal what? 1/2 what? Huh? AB what? AB side. See? Right? So you can go, it's just like that, right? There's a pattern. And all of the A are equal. You can use either formula and you should come up with the same answer. Let's take a look at number 1. Find the area of a triangle to the right. Again, I'm going to use the original one, which is A equal 1/2 base times height. I just want to check if they're the same thing. And then the other one I would use A equal 1/2 AC side B. Now you can use any formula that I highlight in green, blue here. Maybe I'll make it in blue. Right, but because they're giving you angle, if I call this angle B, then I use a 1/2 AC side B, right? If you guys call that angle C, then you use what? 1/2 AB side C. So depend what you call. Here A. So what I did in my notes. It doesn't matter though. I just want to be consistent with what I have. Yeah, that's called it. Yeah, that's what I call. Let's see. All right, let's do the black one first. 1/2 base times height. Base will be, what is base? What is height here? Can someone tell me? Base first, base 3.5, right? And then height 2.9, right? So all you do is, as long as the two lines that intersect at 90 degrees, that's your base, your height. That's all. Which is, if you plug in your calculator, is 5.07. Yeah, you do take your calculator out. Check the result with me. Sometimes I got it wrong. There's no unit, so I'm gonna call that square unit. And then for don't check now, check the green one, the blue one is more important. One half. If it's the same answer, then you know you got it right. 1/2 A is 2.9. C is 4.5, right? So that's your little c. It's opposite with angles big C. Here's your little a opposite with big A, and here's your little b opposite with big B. C will be 4.9. Size of 51 degree. I want you to calculate this one for me and approximate to 3 decimal places. You're not gonna have exact answer, but you should be very, very close. Make sure your mole in degree. For this class, leave your mole in degree. And for the next class as well. What did you have? 5 point, go ahead. 523. Let me do it again. Okay, 5.071. Let me take a look. 0.5, huh? 2.9 and 4.5. Size of 51. I got 5.071. Thank you, everybody. Just, if you get it wrong, good for you too. Next time you won't get it wrong. I want you to get it wrong with me, not on the exam. Right? Get out your system. Square unit. Have a habit of writing units. You don't lose silly points. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, the base times height, 1/2 base times height. Which one are you asking about? The black one? So I want to check if my answer is the same if I use two different formula because they're equivalent, right? For the first one is just everybody know that one, right? From high school and middle school. Area equal 1/2 base times height. Base and height they intersect at each other at 90 degrees. Yeah. So base here will be 3.5 and height will be 2.9. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're similar, right? They're similar result. Similar answer. So we okay? For this part right here, I already said there's a pattern. Like I wrote here, the two formula, the three formula, it's the same thing in these parts. So let me highlight it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So we we know that even though you use slightly different formula, they are the same, right? If the area the same, I can let these two areas equal to each other, right? Because they are equal. Right? So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to let the right hand side of this one equal to the right hand side of this one. It's really lagging. Which is we have it right here. Now I can do some simplification. I can multiply both side by 2 to get rid of the 1/2, right? I can, and then I can divide both side by c to get rid of the c, because that's common, least common multiple. Right? So now I can reduce to b times size a equal a times size b. If you divide both sides of that equation by side a times side b, then what you're gonna yield next is what? If you divide, so on the left hand side A cancel, right? So you have b over side b right there. And then on the right hand side B cancel, you have a over side big A. Right? And that whole equation is, they represent the law of size. Well, there's one more. If little a over side big A and then equal to little b over side big B, then you can guess the last one would be what? If the triangle should have 3 angles and 3 lengths, it should be what? Little c over side big C. The law of size. It doesn't matter. You can write your rational as little a over side big A or side big A over little a. It doesn't matter. Usually I use this one. I use the latter one, just out of habit. But whichever one, it should be the same. Should give you the same answer. I could take a look at number 2. Given a triangle ABC like that, A is 64 degrees. B is 38. Little b, which is opposite with the angle B, 75. So you give 2 angles and one side. They call that AAS. By the way, these are easy K, because later there's a harder one. I need to figure out what is angle C and what is length A. I want to know angle C, length C, and length A. Right, those 3 I need to solve. Well, the formula is, which one, it doesn't matter which one you want to use first. I'm going to use side B first. You can use side A first. Actually, no, you cannot. Why can't you use side A first? Yeah, let's see, side A over little a. I guess you can. Yeah, I guess you can. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. As long as you have 3 values and in 1 variable, you can solve for the variable. But I'm going to use side B. So side B over little b equal side A over little a. Which is side B is side 38 degree over little b is 75 equal side A is side of 64 degree over little a. Now you can solve little a. Chris, crisscross multiply, right? You can take 75 times sine 64 degree divided by sine 38 degree. What do you have? Round to the nearest tenth. So 109.5 centimeter. I got A down. Now I need to find a little C. Can I find the angle C right now? It's not that hard, right? Angle C is equal to 180 degree. Subtract the other two, right? Subtract 64, subtract 38. So C is 78. Just get it out of the way. But that's the easiest one. And as for finding C, I'm gonna use, doesn't matter which one you use. You can use side A over A, but I'm gonna use side B over B. It less error that way because A is approximation, right? Try to avoid using it. Equals size big C over little c. C equal B times psi B is 75 times psi C is 78 divided by psi B, which is 38. Let me rewrite my 78. So C is approximately 119.2 centimeter. Number 3 is you try one. You know, for you try one, I believe that I only need you to solve for C. Take a look at the question. It's in there, but it's based on this problem. Okay. Any question from law of size so far? All right, now comes to the harder case. Oh, before we do that, to check your solution, if you add any two sides, it must be greater than the remaining side. Right? It makes sense. A plus B should be greater than C, or A plus C greater than B, or B plus C greater than A. Right? The sum of any side should be greater than the third side. The longest side, remember this one. This is important because we're going to use it again and again. The longest side is opposite to the largest angle. So for example, if I have the triangle like that, then I know that if I call this A, B, C, then little a will be the longest. It'll be the longest length because it has the biggest angles, right? It just makes sense. You just open up more, you have a longer distance. All right, so the ambiguous case, if I given two side and one angle called side angle of the law size. For case one, that's easy, right? If A is equal to, if I look at the right triangle right there, if A is 100 units, then you're gonna form a right triangle. So H is equal to A equal to 100. Then you can calculate the area, or you can use a law of sines. Right? K2. If A is less than 100, say, let's say A is 90 units, then, well, if A is too short, you cannot connect A to the base, then there's no triangles formed, right? So that means you have no solution. Okay, 2 is bad. If A is greater than 100, say A is equal 120 units, then I can form two triangles. Right? I can form two triangles. I know it's a little ambiguous. What's the name for? You understand it soon when we do the problem. And if A is very long, so 845. Oh, by the way, so here we have two solutions. Case 3, you have two solutions, right? Two solution. You have two triangles. You have calculate everything twice. Right? Case 4, if A is 145, then you have one solution. Bless you. One solution for case 4, one solution for case 1, and no solution for case 2. Let's take a look at number 4. Solve the triangle below using case 4. So that means you have one solution, not too bad. I'm given angle A is 45 degrees. I don't know what B and C. Do not assume that B is 90 degrees. Okay, do not assume. If they don't say anything, do not assume. B, C's are unknown, right? But I know little A is 7√2, and then little C is 7. If you look at this, can you tell me if C is greater than A or C is smaller than A, and why? The picture is deceiving, but algebra is not. Is angle C is bigger or smaller than angle A? Smaller because it's not because of picture, because of what? If I would a mistake doing this, if I would a mistake, don't write this down. If I have a mistake putting this here, A, C there, A here, and here is A little A equals 7√2, here little C equals 7. But let's just say I put it right. I put it right like that. How come that you know that angle C is smaller than angle A? Yeah, right. Because the length of A is longer than the length of C, right? So based on the information they give you, try to fill in your picture correctly, right? Because here they fill it for you, that's easy. But what if I don't fill it out for you? What if I list them on up above, and then I give you like a blank triangle? You have to fill in yourself. It helps if you fill it correctly. Right? Not like your calculator is wrong, but it might confuse you. Like, oh, my picture doesn't match my answer. A's look like 120 instead of 30, right? So it helps if you fill it out correctly. All right, so let's take a look. I want to know what is B and my angle B, my angle C, and my little B. Right. I suggest you start out with just the formula, right? You can use any, you can use any of the two. You can use the first two. Sorry, you can do the first two or the last two, or the first and last. It doesn't matter, right? Whichever allow you to solve for one of the variable. So let's say start out with side A, because that's what I'm given. If it's side big A, then it had to be over little a. And here doesn't matter here. If I want to calculate C first, I can say psi big C over little c. Then C equal A times psi C. A is 7 root 2 times psi of, oh, sorry, my bad. I still have my my mode from the last problem. I want to solve for psi C, right? So psi C, put it in black. Psi C equal, let me do like this, so I'm not making mistake. Psi A is size of 45 degrees divided by little a, which is 7 root 2 equals psi C, which is I don't know, right, over little c, which is 7. Now I can solve for psi C. Seven times psi of 45 degree divided by 7 times root 2. Well, 7 and 7 cancel. Psi 45 degree is root 2 over 2, right? Divided by root 2, which is 1/2. Maybe I'll write out for you. Or you can use your calculator. It'll give you 0.5. So this is equal to 1 over root 2 times root 2 over 2, which is 1/2. So psi C equal 1/2. If psi C equal 1/2, what's C equal to? If you look at your unit circle, one half is right here. Psi of 1/2 is right. Psi is the y value. Remember that. 1/2 is right there. Right. That's how I construct my angle. So I have one of the angle is the blue one right here, and another one is the red one. What is that? Why 45 degrees? Psi of an angle C equal 1/2. Yeah. So 1/2 is the outcome. And C is the angles. These right here that you have to create. Yeah, we're solving for an angle. Shouldn't it be in degrees? Yes, it will be in degree if you put your calculator in degree mode. Yeah. If it isn't the answer 45 degrees. No, I don't think so. 45 degrees, side 45 degrees, root 2 over 2. You have side angle is 1/2. So either 60 or 30. Yeah, 30 and what? There are two of them. Well, this one's 30, yes. What about the red one? What else? What else side of what other angle that also equal 1/2? 150, right? Which one is it? Is C equal 30 degree or 150 degree? Which one should I choose? Why is 30? It has to be less than angle A, right? Remember what I said? It has to be less than 45 degrees because the length is smaller, right? So choose because I would say because A is greater than C, that's imply angle big A is greater than angle C, which is A is 45 and C better be 30, right? Now on your calculator, it's always give you the smaller angle. In this case, could you also use the sine inverse? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Very good. You can do that too. But sometimes we need to, so you can use sine inverse in this case, but other case, I wouldn't recommend because other case, what if you have the obtuse angle is larger than 90, right? Sine inverse doesn't allow you to do that, right? Because it allows you to have a negative angle instead of going more. Right? Everybody okay with how I come up with C? First, you use law of sine. Whichever you don't know, you leave it alone and then you solve it, right? Just one step at a time. I know that I'm solving for angle C. I'm not solving for side C. Right? But in order to do solve for angle C, I have to go through side C. Right? I know side C after I did the law of sine is 1/2. Well, where's 1/2? 1/2 is right here. If this unit circle, 1/2 right in between. Then you construct your angle. I found two, either 130 degree or 150 degree. Well, based on the problem, you choose 30. Now you can solve for B. Now angle B is equal 180 minus 45 minus 30, which is 105 degree. One last thing we have to do, which is solve for the length B, the little b. Right? Side big B over little b, because I know my angle B now, equal side A over little a. You can use side C over little c. Side B is size of 105 over little b, which is unknown, equal side A is 45 over little a, which is 7√2. That's implied little b equal, can someone tell me what you got? 15, okay. So let me double check one more time. All right, okay, let's see. Everybody have different answers. 7√2 times side 105 equal divided by side 45. 13.5, is that what you got? Yeah, thank you. It should be the longest one, right? It's the biggest angle. Make sure you put your mole in degree. All right. Number 5. Given the triangle below, little b equal 122, little a is 7D. You solve for the rest. This is K2. K2, that means it has no solution. And I'll show you why it has no solution. First, I need to write out the law of sine. Whatever you have. The first thing you do is whatever given to you, write out. I give an angle A, so side A over little a equal, now I'm going to calculate side B over little b because it's what I'm given, right? I'm given little b. Side A is sine of 42 degree over 70 equal sine B, which is, I don't know, over little b, which is 122. This implies sine big B equal 122 times sine 42, 122 sine 42 divided by 70. I got 1.17 roughly, yeah? Yeah. So roughly, leave a little space, 1.17. Now, if I want to solve for B, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take sine inverse both sides. But remember, sine inverse only take what value? What's the domain? -1 to 1, right? Remember the little worm, right? From -1 to 1. 1.17 is too big. So you say because 1.17 is not inside the domain, which is from -1 to 1. You have no solution, then you stop, right? If you cannot solve, you stop. Therefore, there's no solution. Let's take a look at the one where you have two solutions. Yes.
So when I read it, are you closing your parentheses on your calculator?
Yes, you should.
You should.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the case where you have two solutions. You can read this one. I'm gonna go straight to problem part B. Right. Solve the acute triangle given right there. Well, the first thing first, I want to know what I'm given. I'm given side A. So side, first thing first, I can write out side of 43.1 degree over what? Over the opposite length, which is 186.2, right? Equal, well, little b is 248.6. Well, so the one that I had to solve is side B. That's how I think. If I was you, that's how, if I'm on the exam, that's how I think it like that, right? I know that the side of this angle over the opposite length equal to the next one. And you just fill in the one that you don't have. You can solve for side B. Side B equal, right now, can I not write it out the crisscross multiply? Is that okay? Side B is, if you plug in your calculator, I got 0.91. That's promising anything between -1 and 1, right? I mean, you have a solution. So side B, roughly leave a little space equal 0.91. You can take side inverse both sides. On the left-hand side, side inverse and side cancel. So leave me just angle B equal to, if you put in your calculator, what you got? What you got? 65.5, right? Side in, by the 65.5, yeah. Either first angle or fourth angle, right? Then C will be, you found B, then you can calculate C, right? C right there. C equal 180 degree minus B, which is 65.5 minus A, which is 43.1, 71.4 degrees. Can you solve little c? I think I can let you solve little c on your own, right? You have everything, yes.
On case two,
Mhm.
one where there's no solution. On the exam, do we have to show them?
Yes, you have. Yeah, how are you gonna know it's not no solution if you don't do anything, right? Yeah, so you have to show work. You're right. All right, so you can solve little c on your own. It's not too hard. But they only ask for just solve the angles. They don't asking for the little length. C, solve the oblique triangle. What about this one? Again, I'm given psi A is 43.1 degree over little a, which is 186.2, equal psi of B2 now. The other one was B1. I didn't put B1, but it was B1 over 248.6. And you solve for psi of B2. And it's going to give you 0.91 again. Leave a little space, psi of B2, roughly 0.91. Let's just say put equal psi, just less. And then you do psi inverse both sides like we did in the first case. You cancel. And you saw B is 65.5, but it's not obtuse. B should be big. So what do? It's obtuse. So what do? You take, remember when I say psi, well, the picture I draw earlier, it gives you two angles. I know your calculator only gives you the smaller one. I hate when it lags. But size of 0.9, say 0.9 is over here, right? If you draw a little horizontal line and then you draw your angle, one of them is 65.5, which is you found. The other one should be more than 90 degrees, right? So you have to take what? In order to find the bigger one, you take 180, subtract that 65.5, right? And again, you can solve for a little c on your own. It's not too hard, right? Just use psi, log psi again. I kind of move on so I can show you some problem for your next you try. All right, number 7, give C equal 145. So C is obtuse here, C is big. And the little c is 3. Find the radius of a circle. Do you agree with me? CB equal to CA equal R, right? They both radius. Now, because of the two lengths are equal, do you agree with me? Angle A is equal angle B. Yes. Right. I know angle A equal angle B. So that's imply 180 minus C, which is 180 minus 145 is equal to 35 degree. And that 35 degree is the sum of both angles, right? So you can figure it out what each angle be, right? Just split it in half. Angle A equal angle B, which is 35 divided by 2, which is 17.5 degrees. Oh, now it's easy. Now can you calculate? You can use law of psi to figure out R, right? The radius. Psi, let's do psi C. Psi C. So side C, which is side 145 degree, over little c, which is over 3, equal side A, which is 17.5 degree, over little r, right, over little r. This is just algebra here. R roughly round to the nearest 10. So R roughly 1.6 inches. Any question from number 7? I wish I had more time for this class. Like they give me 1.5 hours instead of 1 hour. It's just number 8. A pilot is flying over the straight highway. The angle of depression to 2 mileposts, 5 miles apart, are 32 and 48, like the picture. Label and solve the triangle provided. All right. Do you guys remember? I don't know. You remember? I learned this in middle school. If I have a 2 parallel line, it's called parallel line axiom. If I have 2 parallel line and then it's being crossed by another line, say for example being crossed by that red dash line right there, that line called transversal. Then I have a certain angle that equal to each other. Then I have, say for example, I have 32 degree right there should be equal to here, also 32 degree as well. Do you remember that? Right. It's called parallel line axioms from middle school or high school. All right, so so if I call that A and here this C, let's label that C. Can someone tell me what angle C? C will be, well, that's easy, right? 180 degrees, subtract 32, subtract 48, which is 100. Right? And you know what A, right? Because of the parallel lines axioms. Now, if I let side C over little c equal side of big B over little b, because I want to calculate little b. The problem say find the distance of the plane from the point A to the nearest 10. So the plane is a C right there, and they want to find the distance from A. So you want to find little b. Oops, keep up with my color. Side C, size of 100 degree over little c, which is 5 mile, equal side B, which is, oh, I gotta figure out what side B is. 48, thank you. Is that okay? I don't write out the math. 48 over little b. Now you can solve for b. Look in your calculator. Make sure you put parentheses correctly. I would take 5 times side 48 instead of side 48 times 5. Right? So that way less mistake. It's roughly 3.8 miles. Part B is your you try to. They say find the elevation of the plane. What elevation means? The height, right? The height from the ground to the point, right? So they want you to find this. They want you to find that, right? Okay, you can do it yourself. Something very simple. Sokotoa. Number 9, last one. should be short, promise. I have a house. A roof of a house is at 20-degree angle, like in the picture. An 8-foot solar panel is to be mounted on the roof and should be angled 38 degrees relative to the horizontal for the optimal result. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like this. Draw it so it's more solid. Right? So the angle there is 20 degrees. How long does the vertical support holding? How long does the vertical support holding, which is this part right here in blue, up the back of the panel need to be? Round to the nearest 10. Label and solve the triangle provided. All right, so I want to solve for that little, I'm going to solve for this H, the back of the panel. In order to solve for H, I need to solve for this angle right here. The one in blue. Do you agree? I have to use that. That's the only triangle that I can see, right? That associate with H. That means I have to figure out what? I have to figure out some angles, right? I have to figure out what is this one right here in red. Which was that one right there? Is it 38 degree? Okay, sorry, I draw it, so it's kind of, that's 38 for the, with the, right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a horizontal line because I need to figure out what that red angle is. I'm going to draw a horizontal line like this, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this. You see it soon. Parallel line axioms. Do you agree? This one, that one, maybe I'll use, let me use green, if you can see green. Do you agree that one equal to this one? This one equal to this one here, the parallels axiom again. Well, you know, the whole thing is 38 degree. I know I kind of blocked it because I draw a little line. The whole thing is 38. If I can figure out what the green one is, I can know what the red one is, right? What is the green one equal? 20, right? Parallel line axiom again. So the green one is going to be 20. So that means the red one is 38 minus 20. I'm going to call the red one theta. Theta equals 38 degree minus 20. Sorry, you may not see it perfectly, which is equal to 18 degree. Now I can calculate H, right? So psi of 18 degree, psi of 18 over H equal psi of what? I need one more angle though. If this one is 20, what's the big one? The one in black right here, what's the big one? If the green one is 20, then the big one will be what, 20 plus 90, right? Because that's angle above there is 90. Right? This one right here is 90. So 20 plus 90 is 110. Over 8, right? Because that's the opposite length. Now you can solve for H. .6 feet. This one is short, but it's require a lot of critical thinking. We done just in time. I have office hours. from 2:45 to 3:30 if you want to see me. Yeah. I post on Moodle. Yeah, I'm post right now. Hi, Zoomer.